What's up, everybody? Welcome to day one of NoFap. The time is 11:47 p.m. Uh, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was very close not to make a video. I was very close to not making a video because I didn't do anything today. I spent most of the time in bed recovering. Um, didn't relapse, but didn't really do much else either. Um, kind of just focusing on getting better from being sick. So, yeah, slept a lot. I slept a lot, and it was definitely some much needed sleep. I needed to catch up from my wild weekend. But the reason why I am making a video is because I read a comment that kind of kind of made me realize something that I had realized long ago and forgotten. Um, but I'm gonna explain. But first, I'm gonna read the comment out to you. It's from one of my longtime viewers, one of my subscribers, and love this guy. Truly do love this guy. So, JD, man, this video actually made me go back and watch your NoFap number 4 day 1 vlog. In that video, you talked about how you were on break for the past month and revealed that you relapsed multiple times in that period. But the thing that always stuck with me from that video was how pissed off you were at how weak you've been, because I could relate to that feeling. I felt like that video was the turning point where you developed that disciplined mindset that led you to eventually hitting a 90-day streak. Now you've relapsed 4 times in the past 3 weeks since restarting the NoFap vlogs. I genuinely mean no offense when I say this, because I have a ton of respect for you. No offense taken, by the way. But it seems you've been having this underlying sense of complacency that throws off your discipline and leads to a relapse. Like that burning fire had been lost. I had to deal with this recently as well. When I found myself getting lazy and not committing to my long runs, I realized that if I wasn't careful, I would end up reverting to the weak old version of who I was. I had to go back and look for that fire as well, and I have faith you'll regain that fire too. Blessings, brother. I appreciate the encouragement, and I will say this, JD, and this is what the whole video is going to be about. I'll say this: you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I have lost that fire in me, and I can pinpoint exactly when I lost that fire too. And it was literally the day after I got confirmed on Easter Vigil. So during Easter Vigil, I got confirmed Catholic, and I have been probably the happiest I've been in a long time. And, learning about Catholicism and talking to a lot of priests and making a lot of Catholic friends, I won't lie. That definitely made that quelled that burning fire I had within me. And I'll explain to you why. And why it also frustrates me a little bit. Because when I had that fire, if you recall, the whole reason, when you go back to NoFap number 1, the whole reason why I did the whole NoFap thing, I was grieving. I was grieving, and I knew NoFap. I had done NoFap vlogs before, and I wanted to do it again because I knew that relapsing wasn't the answer to my grief, and I needed to get rid of that. But, when I was grieving because I was betrayed by a friend. And it hurt a lot. And it made me realize, especially, watching videos on, watching old tape videos, watching all that stuff, discovering all that stuff. It was a wake-up call for me to become that person that never gets betrayed, that never, I wanted to be that person that nobody would want to betray. I wanted to be that person nobody could hurt. And that made me go to the gym, that made me start a business, that made me start fighting, that made me do a lot of things that I had never done before in the goal of being that person that nobody could betray or nobody would be able to betray. And it lit a fire inside of me because I hated being weak. I hated it. I knew that if I was weak, people would step all over me. They would betray me for no reason, or if they had a reason, it would be for a trivial reason or for a reason of their own. I knew that maybe I'd be the kind of person that would get cheated on. I would be the person that women don't even like respect at all. So yeah, I totally I had that fire because I hated being weak. I hated weakness, especially within myself. I hated it, and it kept a fire going for me for a long time. And yeah, when I got confirmed on Easter Vigil, I was very happy. I was very happy, surrounded by friends, Catholic friends, surrounded, with priests, with my parish. Like, being around them made me. I won't say it definitely quelled that fire. It definitely quelled that fire, and it started making me like grateful for where I am, grateful for the kind of person that I am right now, even though it's not where I want to be exactly. It made me happy that I am the person that I am today. It made me very, I still had edge. I just didn't have the fire, right? My personality got some edges from all of that. However, I lost the fire to continue to sharpen myself. So, when you especially hanging out with other Catholic people, a lot of them are grinding, a lot of them are doing all that stuff, but they're so happy. They're so happy with where they are, and and I'll talk to them about stuff like this, and they'll just be like, you sound like they'll say you sound like you're you don't feel grateful about where you are, or you don't feel happy about where God's put you in this present moment. And when and enough people told me that when I thought about it, I'm just like, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. I need to have more gratitude. I need to enjoy my life, essentially. And that's what I did. And when I got confirmed, I definitely feel like I have lost that fire. So I don't know. Is it a good thing? Am I a happier person? Yeah, I'll say that. I am a happier person. But in terms of improving myself as a man, it's definitely slowed down. It hasn't completely stopped, but it's definitely slowed down significantly. Very significantly. I don't have that rage inside of me that kind of tells myself, you're weak. I would compare myself to some people and just be like, you're weak. You're not good enough yet. You can be, but you're not. You gotta try harder. You gotta push this weight a little more. You gotta be like, you have to suffer more. You have to. I kind of lost that, and I guess my question to you, JD, is how do you get that? How do you get it? How do you get that fire back? How did you get that fire back? I'm curious, because I do want it. I do want that fire. I liked the grind. I liked the I even liked the rage, and using that rage to become like to laser focus on my work, to laser focus on working out, to laser focus on NoFap. Like, yeah, I do miss that fire, but it did consume a lot of me. And it was a lot easier when I was alone. And I was alone for a lot of that time. A lot of that time in early NoFap, my early NoFap vlogs, I was very much alone. And it was easy because all I was filled with was my own thoughts. And my own thoughts, and the internet of like hundreds of people who have everything that I wish I had, telling me that I could do it. All you got to do is work, and you're a loser, but you can be something better, but you gotta work. You gotta grind. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt again. You're going to get betrayed again. You're going to get all these bad things are going to happen, you know? So I do miss that fire, but you know, what do I do? What do I do? Obviously, I don't want to isolate myself, but also I haven't met anybody with that same fire. You know how rare it is, especially here in California? Everybody wants to be chill. Everybody wants to be nice. Everybody wants to appear like fun, right? Because the girls love fun, and the guys want to be fun to attract the girls, right? And I remember when I first started talking to people again, I would be this kind of like, and I still am to a degree, but I'd be very edgy. Not like cringeworthy edgy, but I would just say edgy stuff, or I would just be, or you know, I would tease people and just not care about their reaction, especially if they reacted like poorly to me. And it was light teasing. Those are that. It's light teasing. But some people can't. You know, you ever been around people that like to tease but don't like getting teased? Yeah. I would purposefully make those people angry because I would just continue to tease them back. But anyway, I digress. Mike, yeah, JD, I want to know how did you get that fire back? Because I want it, but I also want it in a way that I won't say healthy, because you know, I don't know. What is that fire for you? Because that fire for me is like, it's a mixture of not being good enough, not wanting to get betrayed again, and then if I do X, Y, and Z, it won't ever happen again. And so that was kind of like the fire. That's the fuel to the fire for me. But now that that's not like, now that I'm no longer thinking about that, you know, and I'm also surrounded by Catholics, and I'm also not surrounded by anybody that are like killers. I won't lie. Like, I wish I was surrounded by killers. Not real killers. I mean like killers in the game, you know? People that are starting their own businesses. People that are working out super hard. People that are like fighting. People that do talk a lot of crap. Because I do talk a lot of crap, you know? Those kinds of people. Like, I've never seen any of those kinds of people. And those are the kinds of people that I didn't hang out with, but I was alone, and so those are the kind of people I would listen to, and it made me work really hard. It made me not complacent, made me have the fire. So I want to know. Let me know, JD. Let me know. But anyway, that's what I want to make this video about, is like, you know, I miss the fire. I want to get it back, but how do I get it back? I don't know. A lot of people that I would surround myself with, if I told them all these things, they'd probably say it's like unhealthy. So what do I say? Do I just say screw you, or do I say okay, how do you do it in a healthy way? You know, I'm still wrapping my head around it. Because at this very moment, I don't have that fire. I'll fully admit that. So, JD, you can read me like a book. I'll say that. That's very impressive. You can read me like a book. I do feel like these vlogs are different compared to the vlogs I used to make, because back then I was very passionate and very fiery. Now I do feel like I am coasting by a little bit. But anyway, let's get to your other comments. Andrew, hey brother, sorry I've been commenting. I just caught up with your videos. Don't be down on yourself. Keep pushing forward. Get past this. This is not easy, but you will get there. It's all about understanding where it went wrong. Make a change. You got this. Yeah, where it went wrong is not knowing my own limits. And you know, you got to know your limits and push beyond it. But I went far beyond it when it comes to sleep, and when it comes to healthy amounts of sleep, as well as like cutoff times for my friends, because as much as I miss this certain friend that I haven't seen in a long time, I also need to make like, I also need to have some boundaries. Like, we can't keep staying up until 6 a.m. Like that, we can't keep doing that. That's just not a good idea for all of us. So I gotta be a little bit stronger on that bar, because, I miss the guy, and I know everybody will feel bad if I try to cut the party off, but at the same time, it's like, no, I gotta, like, this is the cutoff. Otherwise, like, I'm not gonna be okay for tomorrow, or I'm gonna get sick, which I am now. So appreciate the encouragement, Andrew. The Brave Files. I've also restarted recently, and I had pretty bad urges today. I've got to get out of this rut I'm in. It's helped creating a strict schedule for the start of my day to ensure productivity. Yeah, that definitely helps. If you have a strict schedule, then you got stuff to move on to. I will say, and I learned this from the video that I watched, the podcast that I watch, as well as AI, typing some learning about addictions from AI. Have a dopamine menu. Have a list of things that you can turn to when you get the urges. Look at that list of things and just be like, do these, because what your brain is telling you is, I want a hit of dopamine. And the best way to get that hit of dopamine is through fapping. And you got to be like, no. I'll give you the hit of dopamine. You got to tell your brain, essentially, it's like, by choosing something on that menu, be like, hey, I'll give you that dopamine, but you got to work for it. So for me, my go-to is shadow boxing. I freaking love Muay Thai. I shadow box at home all the time. So for me, I'll just get up and start shadow boxing, which is super productive. Some people do push-ups. Some people take a cold shower. Some people do but do something. Some people do their hobbies. Like, do something that you enjoy that gives you a dopamine hit. But isn't like drugs, isn't fapping, isn't all of that stuff. You gotta be able to rewire your brain, because your brain wants a reward, but you gotta train your brain to not go for the instant reward again. You gotta train your brain to actually work for that reward. So yeah, get a dopamine menu of things that you actually enjoy doing that gives you a hit of dopamine, and do it. It'll take some work, but that's healthy ways to get dopamine, is working for it. If you don't work for it, it's instant gratification, then you're just gonna you're just gonna turn to porn again. So yeah. Figure out a dopamine menu and then pick from it. It's like you're ordering from a restaurant. Pick something and the waiter goes, "Oh, excellent, sir." Pick from it. Mike, every day later. Did I say that? Every day later? Now you're sick and fapped out, can't work or work out, and feeling sorry for yourself. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's my fault. It's my fault. I won't lie. It's my fault. There's no people, I'm going to be so honest. I have no idea what I said yesterday. No idea. I have no idea what I said yesterday. So, I was definitely really out of it. If I said some stuff that was pretty questionable, yeah, I said it. It's my fault. It's a learning opportunity, but you must learn from it for it to become a learning experience. That's true. I need to set some harder boundaries. And that comes from, that does come from, like, I had really good boundaries when I, like, going back to that, when I had the fire inside of me. I had those boundaries. I had hard cutoffs. I actually used to do that with my friends, and I stopped doing that. I got to start doing that again. Just be like, no. We're not going to stay in a Denny's parking lot and talk till 6 a.m. I'm going home. I got stuff to do tomorrow. I got to say it. Like, I got to prioritize my work a little bit more, Got to prioritize my work a bit more. But anyway, speaking of, check your email again because I sent you another link on Monday. Mike, I saw that video. Well, I didn't see the video. I saw the email. I didn't watch the video yet, but I should. In fact, I'm gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna watch it after I upload it. I'm gonna watch it after I upload this video. But thank you, Mike, for any video that you think will help me. Bring it forth. I like learning stuff. I want to learn more stuff. So bring it forth. But thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, for the videos. That one podcast helped a lot already. So thank you for that. That's all the comments for today. Wherever you guys are in your NoFap journey, I wish you luck. In fact, I'm gonna start praying. I'm gonna start praying for you guys. I think that would help us all. So if you're Catholic, if you're Christian, pray for me. If you're any other kind of religion, I don't need you to pray to demons for me. I'm good. So, you know. No offense, but yeah, anyway. That's all I got for you guys today. Tomorrow, I'm going to see how I feel. I do feel a lot better today, surprisingly. Even though I wasn't coughing much yesterday, I'm starting to cough. But I do feel a lot better today, energy-wise. Energy-wise, I feel a lot better. So tomorrow, I'm going to see what I'm going to be able to do without obviously going too far. But I need to get back into. I need to get back to business. I need to get back to working. I need to get back to all these things. But again, JD, if you're watching this, please tell me how you got your fire back, because I'm looking for a way to get mine back. I'm trying to think through it, and I just can't seem to find myself. I can't seem to find that rage again. Like, I want that rage. I want that rage again. Do I allow myself to go back into that dark place? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. If the answer is yes, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But for everybody else, actually, yeah, everybody else, I want you to leave in your comments, like, do you have a fire within you? And if not, like, did you? And if you never had it, well, I don't know. If you never had it, make a comment. Comment on what you think about all of this stuff. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.